perfect time now to do the water. She's been in the kitchen all day and she does not do it.
All right. Welcome to another Woods Report. The ghetto horizon. My mother decides right now is the time to fill the refrigerator with water.
Yes.
So now it's dinging in the background.
The refrigerator, when it stays open for a long time, it has this little
it dings.
musical song.
And then she says, "What's wrong with that?" That tells you this is a ghetto show. Because if we was on a set, on a TV set, you wouldn't have all this
quiet
on
the
background.
Set. Quiet on the set.
What's wrong with me eating some chips in the background?
Quiet. Take 7. Take 8. Quiet on the set. That's why some people have their own room. They have a separate room for filming and stuff, and music and things.
It's too
recording.
Late. Yeah, it's too late. All right, so the latest in the news, a lot going on. I can say that. A lot, but it was like a lot of world news and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Not a lot of entertainment.
Because the Ukraine president is in town.
Oh, the actor.
He and his wife.
The actor. He probably has a black tie affair and stuff.
No, he probably wants to stop by Hollywood before, even though they're on the strike.
Right. But he has to he'll go to like the ball or something, but he'll still wear his military uniform. So, because he can't look like he having too much fun.
Yeah, he has to still show.
While your people is in the middle of a war.
Exactly. Fleeing for their lives. And he in America living it up.
I tell you, that man. I know some people like him. I don't like him.
Look.
So
whatever.
All right, so Quavo is at the White House. He met with Kamala Harris. Wow. Remember, I told you she had too short there. She trying to
she got to get in where she needs to fit in.
Yeah,
everybody's been questioning her as VP.
Well, she got to get black people excited about voting because they're not excited about voting for Biden. So it's like we got to get the black people and the young black people. Yep. See, that's why she with these hip hoppers and stuff.
Yeah, she should have been doing that a long time ago.
Well, it doesn't matter. People have a short term. If you do something,
that's true. You need to probably do it closer to the time when they're gonna vote for
October,
you, so they'll remember.
Yeah, actually, this is too early still. She should have a big old hip hop thing October right before the election.
People automatically say, just to get some votes. It's too close.
No.
We'll see.
People have a short attention span, but he is there for a good reason.
Okay.
He is there for a good reason. Let's say hi. Emerald says, "Hey, ladies." Hey, Emerald. So he's there for a good reason. Quavo meets with Kamala Harris to discuss advocacy against gun violence after his nephew Takeoff had passed away. Because you remember Takeoff, he passed away because of gun violence.
Around this time last year?
Yeah,
it was during Halloween.
Yeah, it was Halloween.
Guy had some Halloween Chucky dolls.
It was Halloween. You're right. It was actually in Halloween. They was out on Halloween, so it's almost a year now. He got his little suit on, so he dressing for this. He dressing to come to the White House. I like that.
Okay,
he knows he's coming to the White House.
He's being respectful.
He's showing these young kids you could dress for success. You don't have to, still wear your pants hanging down. You coming to visit the White House, the vice president is there. She might be the future president.
That's true.
If everybody keep talking about how old Joe Biden is.
I know.
Okay, so the trauma Migos rapper Quavo suffered after witnessing his nephew Takeoff, the M word. Last year's disturbing sight he doesn't want anyone else to experience. Yeah, they showed everything on film. Everything.
Wow.
Through his pain, Quavo found his purpose as a vocal advocate against gun violence. He met privately with some powerful political figures, including Vice President Kamala Harris. And then he later spoke on a panel about combating the issues during the Congressional Black Caucus Legislative Conference in Washington. So he's going out there. He's like, I don't want what happened to Takeoff. A lot of times things have to happen to people.
And then my question is too, when people talk about this plans for stop the gun violence advocacy, what can they do?
Well, let's see. The Grammy-nominated rapper said that Takeoff's untimely death ultimately convinced him to speak out. I feel like your calling comes at least at the expected time, he said, who also honored his nephew with their Migos bandmate Offset during the BET Awards earlier this summer. Police say Takeoff was an innocent bystander who was shot outside a Houston bowling alley, if you remember that. His death was the latest in string of fatal shootings in recent years that involved hip-hop stars. There's a lot of hip-hop celebrities that went away. Quavo says, you don't think nothing is going to happen. I need to step up to place and hit a home run. I have to do something about it. So it won't happen to the masses, especially in our culture. I don't want this to happen to the next person. I want to knock down these percentages. So he joined the panel, you saying what they was talking about. After another lady was there, her son was gunned down. And it says they're looking for solutions-oriented conversation on community intervention, strategies, the battle with gun violence, and the power of advocacy. So they're looking for the community to kind of step up. A lot of times a lot of this gun violence is gang related. Some of it is. Mm-hmm. And so if the community steps up to combat the gang.
Chicago had a shooting yesterday. You probably saw it on TV. That boy that got shot at high school, he was a football player. Really cute guy, really fun, down to earth. It was a shooting that he was just there in the wrong place. They had leads. Nobody would talk.
You see?
They were afraid to talk. Well, how can you that's an issue, because remember Tyler Perry's movie with Idris, and a whole community came out, and was doing whatever they need to do. If a whole community talks, the gangs can't just shoot up a whole community for talking. Well, but everybody's afraid to snitch.
Well, he says after Takeoff shooting, Quavo often asked himself, "How do we use guns safely, and how do you keep them out of the hands of people that make bad decisions?" He said, "I'm kind of half and half place. Even police have guns. Unfortunately, some of the people in our culture and loved ones have been lost to police brutality. It's all about choices and how we can filter on who can use these guns." Jackson said Quavo's voice could make a difference. He applauded the rapper for sitting down with members of Congress, offering his firsthand insights and putting the pressure on them for impact. So again, people are questioning, because a lot of times in these communities, you say, okay, well, the police have guns, but then you got police violence. So it's like, you're not going to just let them have guns, or we'll all be gone if it's going to continue.
The advocacy for gun violence, that's probably one of the hardest to what can you do if people don't talk?
Well, he got here, Quavo invested $2 million in the community violence intervention. He aspires to develop more after-school programs in areas where community centers have been shut down and basketball goal rims be taken down. So a lot of these after-school things, remember we said if you keep them busy, you can't wait till they get in high school and all that stuff and then be trying to, you got to get them little. Get them little. You got to have a lot of these after-school. Remember Denzel Washington said that saved his life. That Boys and Girls Club or whatever, he said that saved his life. Because if he wasn't going to Boys and Girls Clubs, he said he would have been out on the street. But he was going to the Boys and Girls Club, and that kept him busy. So a lot of these Boys and Girls Clubs and a lot of these organizations have been closed because no money. So that's why he's saying, I'm investing into these communities to start opening these centers back up again. That's one thing. It's not one answer.
Yeah, I know.
So, I know you're making a face. It's more than one thing.
It's got to be definitely more. Because the boy got shot at school.
Right.
Playing football.
Yeah.
So, I mean, come on. What else can you do? You at school.
Yeah.
You talking about after school programs. They're getting shot during the day.
No, but they're saying the after school programs.
That does help.
It helps because
Pastor Corey, he's starting his $20 million suit thing that he's building. He's going to have a swimming pool. He's going to have where they can learn to box.
Exactly.
Beautiful center.
It's doing is, it's not saying that it's going to stop.
It's not like answer to all. Yeah.
But it keeps them busy so that they're not feeling like they have to be in something else to stay. And what they always say to old people, an idle mind is the devil's playground. If you keep somebody busy, it's like you don't have time for foolishness because you about being busy.
I wonder what can they do aside from that, because there's always a bunch of things you can do to keep the kids safe and off the streets. is there anything that can be done? I know the problem is when people, a lot of times, one of my coworkers, she lived in the West Side, and she would get up to come to work where we worked, and I say, did you have any issues going home? So every now and then she'll have a story, because she lived on a really bad side of Chicago. Sometimes she'll get on the bus and she'll see an outline of a body that just, was taken. But I was saying, a lot of times you guys do know who are doing the shootings in a lot of these neighborhoods. And she said, a lot of people know who they are.
Right, but they're not saying.
Is there anything that can be done, even financially, to even, I'm thinking money always answers, because the Bible does say money answers all things. It does. The root of it is the love of it is the root of evil. But in a sense where communities are paid or given money to better their communities or whatever, if they speak and say, that was Miss Jones' grandson that did the shooting. Well, that was Millie. Was Jimmy John, who was part of the gang.
One of the things is that we're changing what culture of what snitching is.
Yeah.
Now, the first time I've ever heard people start separating that if you're a civilian, that's not snitching. If you are a criminal, then you are snitching.
But what if you from the neighborhood? Because one of the girls at the high school. No. One of the girls at the high school on the news, when I watched that boy that was taken, his life was taken. One of his classmates said, yeah, a lot of people know they've seen some stuff, but nobody gonna say nothing. Nobody wants to be a snitch.
They changing.
Well, right now she's saying snitch.
I know, but I'm saying they're changing it. That's why, it
hasn't changed yet, but it's hopefully will.
Because that's why Gunna, he's out. They're taking away the stigma of the word snitch.
I wish
so.
They
Young kids
faster.
Well, it's happening
because she said last night they not talking.
Young kids don't see snitching the same way that when we were younger. It's changing. The way you change it is to change the culture. And so the rappers have to change the culture. The people have to change the culture. The industry has to change the culture. And it's changing. The fact that Gunna can come out and some people's like, oh, he snitched. And he come out, had a #1 album, and he's still moving around, 6ix9ine moving around. Young people don't see the word snitch the way that they used to. So it's changing slowly, but it's changing. Yeah. Again, it's not one answer.
Nobody's saying that it is. I'm just saying it's just so funny that why did that young girl in the community?
I know, it's changing.
They hugging on each other. Right. Why did she say that?
If the person,
because that was the first thing the police made it clear in the news reporting that people had information they didn't want to share.
Right. But they're changing.
And they made that obvious because they're trying to tell people that.
Emerald has here Crime Stoppers. So stuff like that is popping up where people can go and say stuff. Not everybody don't know that you're saying something. It's just the culture.
Unknown callers.
The culture has to change. That's all. And so that's happening. And I agree with after school programs and having these organizations that come out. I agree. It's all things.
Well, that's what I was saying.
The police have to stop doing the stuff that we see them do. They wearing body cams now and stuff like that.
I wanted my suggestion in there too, though. I'm saying, is there anything monetary wise?
Yeah.
Because think about it, even as the culture is changing, like Kim said, as far as snitching, it's not considered snitching anymore. Right. But you gain a reward in a sense for telling, so your community will be cleaned up. When you start saying, oh, that one neighborhood, they all got together and said so and so and so and so, and they got a reward, and their homes are all fixed up, and the street is paved. People need to start seeing, there's rewards, there's money that comes to this to get our cities to be safer.
A lot of them get individual rewards if they call.
So that's what I'm saying. Money involve money some kind of way. Yeah. But go ahead.
But so all of the ideas.
What made him decide to go
take off? Remember,
what made him decide to go to the White House to talk to Kamala?
Because they had this conference and they gun violence and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he said he wanted to come and speak on advocacy again, raising awareness because young kids watch him.
Yep.
You want it to be where it's not cool.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that later with Nicki Minaj's husband. He looked like a fool. You see what I'm saying? Back in the day, it was cool.
He's come from prison.
He's stuck in time. He in time travel. Back in the day, you can stand outside. Hey, I'm outside. Step on by. And now it's like, dude, we about making money. Ain't nobody trying to do all what you doing.
Yeah.
So it has to change in the culture.
Okay.
And it is. A little bit they're becoming stale and stupid. And the kids liking Quavo, he on Kai Sinet's show dancing and having a good time and having pizza parties at night. And that's what's cool. Outside dude's not cool anymore.
What about this as well? We done named at least 4 different things that can be added to the list for people who are trying to fight for gun advocacy.
Yeah.
I'm noticing now, because it's happened in a lot of the southern states, concealed to carry.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I think more, it's kind of like what you said before. If more and more people are carrying weapons.
Oh, yeah.
How, when the word gets out.
Well, you're going to go back to the Wild West.
I know. It's going to be one of my managers. He said, I get it. I'm pro carrying your gun, but I'm just saying, if we hear in the news,
you're not gonna just walk in the store when grandma and everybody else got firearms,
and it'd be like 5 guns in the store going on the one dude trying to rob the place, and he'll be like, "Okay, I'm out of here."
And then again, that goes hand in hand with mental health.
Yeah.
If you got a nut job, they'll walk in there. They don't care that everybody got to go see,
and they'll still be like at the Wild Wild West. I get it. I'm saying that's another checklist.
I know, it's just another thing.
If people are carrying, like if you try to get somebody out their car to carjack them, and they come at you with a gun bigger than yours, chances are you're gonna start leaving people alone because they packing too.
Everything is just walks hand. It's not one thing. Mental health. AR, I said having a special license to carry AR-15. I don't think you should get rid of them. I just think there should be a special license,
like a CDL license for driving.
So I'm we can go. Everybody can meet in the middle somewhere.
And that's true, because if they're licensed, that means that you can check up on them,
right? And that's what people don't want, because they think they're gonna overturn the government one day. That's the ones that climbed over the wall on January 6th. You don't need to know how many AR-15s I got. I got 15 buried in the backyard.
But what's the problem of knowing how many you got? We're not taking them away from you.
Because they think the government
just want Billy Bob to know. We found out Billy Bob has a breakdown.
Because in their minds, remember, these are nut jobs. These are mega and all these Trumpsters. The government's going to take over us, and they're going to cry. They're after me, and they're coming after you next. So bury your AR-15s in the backyard. That's how they mind is.
Oh, help us.
They had the Attorney General, I'm not going to talk about it all right now, had him up there at the Judiciary Committee. So you're going to tell it, they sound so stupid. He had to laugh at some of them. He literally was laughing at some of them talking, Big Head Gates with his giant head, and Jim Jordan and all of them. You're going to tell us nobody's looking into Hunter Biden. Here's the thing. Who cares about Hunter Biden?
Why we keep bringing this up with him?
Don't you think it's a little weird that Hunter Biden has art, and that the guy who buys the most expensive painting ends up getting a deal? And this other black guy, one of the congressmen, said, same as Kushner.
Oh,
like if I find it odd that y'all so into Hunter Biden, but you're not into Jared Kushner.
Thank you.
How about all of them? Let's do all of them.
All the kids, all the son-in-laws,
everybody.
Yes.
Let's bring them all in.
Yes.
Bring the wives in. Let's bring Jill and Melania with her. Let's see what's going on with Melania.
They just stuck on Hunter. It's like a record that's stuck on that little part with the needle.
So that's how they are with these guns.
Oh.
They what's his name? Moses. From my cold dead hands, you'll pull this away. No one's trying to pull your stupid gun away, you big dummy. No one.
They're just trying to make the laws a little more as far as finding the background checks is more clarity on that.
Then they'll say, my cold dead hands, and then that guy who escapes from prison goes in your garage with your cold dead hands, takes your rifle, and then you can't even shoot him when he's running away.
That's actually what happened. He probably was one of those ones that screamed, "You're not taking my guns," but yet the gun you got,
you can't
even use it on the person.
And then they'll bury 15 AR-15s in the backyard, and somebody will break through the window and shoot them while they sitting in the bed, laying in the bed. Where's your AR-15? Hold on, I gotta go get it. It's buried in the backyard.
Or the combination. Hold on, I'm trying to get it out of this safe here. I have them locked up.
You stuck at the light, trying to get through a red light. Somebody taps on your window with a gun pointed at your head. Go ahead and reach for your AR-15 then. You big dummy.
Especially when there's 3 of them that's carjacking you.
There's not.
Which one you gonna shoot?
There are times, like I said, where it does work to have one. That's why I'm not against concealed carry.
It's some wild, wild west.
But it's times where people they'll shoot you across the street. Yeah. You don't even know where it's coming from.
Oh my God.
So that's what I'm saying.
But that's good. He's talking to the White House.
All these things working together hopefully will help. We all know.
Not one all in,
we all know what the ultimate thing is. God. We know that.
In spite of all of the laws that's put in place or the ways to safeguard us,
be covered.
God still has to be number one. That's it.
And everybody gonna always try to move away from him, and he's always gonna be like, "You gonna still have to come to me
here. I need to be here."
You go on with your little Crime Stopper, but it don't hurt to have a prayer meeting right before you make the phone call. So there you go.
That's true.
All right. Colleen says, hello, ladies.
Hey.
Emerald says the YMCA used to create opportunities for you to get off the streets for free. Yeah. And low cost. Now it's so expensive and not worth the cost. I agree. Back in the day, you had stuff, you was busy. It kept you busy.
I was telling my sister, I said one of the schools in the suburbs, one of the kids was trying to get through the side door. The teacher called him and said, no, you can't come through this. You have to go through the main entrance. Come to find out, the police found the boy. He not even a student at the high school, and he was carrying a gun.
So she stopped.
What was his plan?
Thank you.
So even them trying to get in schools now with weapons.
Thank you.
So go ahead.
So yeah, there's not one answer. It's all these things
working together. All working together.
Now you said DeSantis was on this lady, Lindsay Davis
was interviewing him, and they wanted to pull out some of the comments he made on The View.
Okay.
So we have him on video. Of course, she's going to ask him about the border. Mm-hmm. She's going to ask him, because remember, he said shoot.
Right.
Because even he was saying in his state, if you loot, you shoot.
Right.
Really, DeSantis, you just going to shoot? Mm-hmm. And then I think he was making a comment about Trump, and his stance is different than he was when he was first running for president on abortion. And then that comment that has been made about we benefited from slavery. So if you want to take a listen to DeSantis in this video and how he responds.
Emerald says, and in all honesty, if you choose to have a political lifestyle or openly public, you and your family are open game, whether you are honest or corrupt. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what DeSantis said.
So, also going on in the world, Florida governor Ron DeSantis interviewed.
I thought you had it already. Okay.
To be pro-life, for him to then attack people like Iowa, South Carolina, Florida, all these other states, I thought was a big mistake. But look, I mean, I think he's taking positions that I think are different from what he took in 2015.
You would get the military involved to shoot drug cartel members who are at the border. How would you be able to tell who a cartel member is?
Same way you would tell for anything. I mean, for example, I served in Iraq back in the day. The Al-Qaeda didn't wear uniforms, so you had to make a determination. Can you positively identify somebody as hostile through either hostile action or hostile intent, and then you do it?
Why you think there's any value to try to teach a concept to students that there was any upside to slavery?
The guy that wrote that, Dr. Allen, pointed out it was not saying that slavery benefited. It was saying that these folks were resourceful. They did things they weren't allowed to do to develop skills and then use. So they did it in spite of slavery, not because of it. That's how it's taught.
Boo! Can you know it? Boo!
And even a lot of people historically would say the Civil War was one of the things was those the white owners, they didn't want you to do away with the slaves because they needed them. They made money on them. Remember, they were considered property. You got paid for having slaves. When they run away, you got paid. When they got killed, you had the option to even take their lives if you want to for punishment. Right. So that was one end of it. But for people to say we benefited from being a slave, I know in spite of, he was trying to speak on behalf of the man who wrote the book.
So the first topic that they asked him was about Trump. I have said this from the very beginning. Because I watch Howard Stern. Y'all, anybody who watches the channel knows that's who I watch. So, even though people don't like him or whatever. And Howard Stern was friends with Trump. Okay, he went to his wedding just like Joy and everybody else.
Joy said that too.
Trump is a Democrat. He always has been. He
surprised your friend Howard Stern.
All of the people who are his friends say he's still a Democrat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He just knows that he has to say things because he knows his base is our people. That's not. He knows they're not
Republican base. Yeah.
Every once in a while, because he now thinks he's running against Obama, remember? He thinks there's World War II going on. His mind is leaving him.
So he's coming back to what he really is.
He's forgetting. Before, when he was really on it, he could switch it off and on. Right. Now it's hard for him. So he has to think about it now and go, oh, wait a minute, I'm pro-life.
Pro-life?
Yeah.
I'm pro-choice.
And you heard how he became pro-life, right? No. After 50-something years of being pro-choice?
No.
Some little boy this is the story he tells, some little boy walked up to him and said that his mom was going to get rid of him. And he said he liked that little boy so much, he couldn't imagine if his mother would have gotten rid of him. And that changed him from being pro-choice to pro-life. So we all know that's a lie. Okay. But anyway, you don't be pro-choice for 50 years and then all of a sudden some little bald-head boy come up to you and all of a sudden you change it. Okay. No, he knew he had to run Republican. So that's number one. But anyway, DeSantis and them are sick of it. They're not buying it anymore. I'm done with it. Pence, he got mad.
Okay.
He got mad. Mother!
Because he's changing his stance?
They asked him about the 6-week thing. And Trump doesn't believe in the 6-week thing.
Right.
This dude, weeks, he actually said 15 weeks.
15.
15 weeks! Because do you know how long that is?
That is 1, 2, 4, 4. I'm not good with numbers.
4 months.
Okay, yeah. Ooh, that's a big one.
4 months. So there are children are born at 5 at preemies. So he's saying you can have an abortion up to a preemie. Up to 15 weeks.
He wasn't like that when he was president, though.
Look, whether you're pro-choice or pro-life, if you are a pro-lifer, there's no way in the world you would agree with 15 weeks.
No.
That's a baby at 4 months.
But you know what? In all fairness, there are people who are pro-choice that still wouldn't do 15 weeks.
No, but I'm saying he's supposed he's supposed to be the pro-choice guy.
I know.
Remember, he put the Supreme, and then he had to backtrack because they went after him. The MAGA people, they got about 2 brain cells. So when he matched them together, they couldn't differentiate.
Right.
Wait a minute. Go Trump! Go Trump! 15 weeks. Go 15. Oh, whoa. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Lord,
how many? They were doing what I was doing. How many weeks is that?
Hazel was 15 weeks.
Honey, I think it's 4 months.
Oh, Lord. Now, he then went up there to Fulton County. Then got his hair braided. Then did all of this stuff. Now, they didn't confused him. He meant 5 weeks.
Not 15.
Then he said, Hazel, did you know what else he said? What else did he say, Hazel? He said, in the case if the mother is, the R word, or if the case of the mother's life, or all that, and then the baby, all that, he put exceptions in there. He said that too, didn't you?
He never said that before.
Lord have mercy.
He said no exceptions.
He turned into one of them New Yorkers again. He didn't forget he's at Mar-a-Lago.
Yes.
Trump. Now, you didn't put 3 Supreme Court justices there.
Yes.
They didn't overturn Roe versus Wade. You said shoot it back to the state.
Yes.
Now you want them states to say 15 weeks?
And exceptions.
An exception?
What's wrong with him? Should we still vote for him?
I'm telling you right now. He done got arrested and went up there at Fulton County. Mm-hmm. He done got them Atlanta people all in his ears.
But you know what? Alyssa on The View said when she was in the White House, she worked with DeSantis. She said he changed too. He wasn't like what he was doing, coming at drag queens and Disney and other stuff that he's been screaming and crying, the critical race theory and all of that, taking books, that agreeing with banning books.
That's
she said he was not like that.
So that's the first
how
point.
dare you be hypocritical and talk about Trump?
They are hypocritical.
Go ahead.
So that's the first thing.
Okay.
This Trump guy is going out of his mind. That's what DeSantis is saying. Then the lady asked him,
Lindsay.
Did she ask him?
And I love Lindsay.
All right, I know you want to put some people on some guards or some soldiers on the border, and you said shoot them as they come across
the border.
I just got a little question. I don't know. I'm asking.
Just something to think about.
How do you know if it's a regular guy
or the cartel,
Jesus, or Jesus from the cartels? That's true. They're both Jesuses. They both Jesuses. Now they could be twins. How you know that Jesus isn't the family Jesus
from the cartel?
You're not fooling me, buddy. Are you family Jesus? Or are you cartel Jesus?
You heard what he said.
Which one?
Is there hostility
I got an answer for you.
Okay.
Now I served in the military.
Okay. Iraq.
I served in Iraq. I know the difference.
Right. They don't have to be wearing uniforms, but I
know. Family Jesus has a baby in his arms. Now, the cartel one has fentanyl in his hands, and he's walking across the border with cocaine and marijuana and fentanyl, and he has a smirk on his face.
That's the one you shoot.
Family Jose. He's smiling. He's happy to come to this country. But the cartel has a smirk on his face.
That's so funny.
He looks devious.
I know.
What's going on with you? Shoot him. Don't even pull him to the side.
Lindsay had to sit there. And I know she wanted to laugh.
President of the United... He wants to be president of the United
Commander-in-Chief. Shoot him. And then who is not listening to him even say this? Cartels. Jesus.
Jesus.
Make sure you carry a baby.
Carry a baby. Don't put the fentanyl in your hand.
Put it in the bag.
Smile. Smile.
Such a dope.
Don't look nervous. Smile.
Oh my gosh. No, you cannot be president.
Well, you heard...
You're not doing really, really well as
you
governor.
Heard Trump's answer lately. This was a day ago.
What was Trump's answer?
Well, Well, somebody finally asked him, can you answer a question other than that? Everybody
still want to build that wall?
Well, no, he has a better one now.
Oh, wow.
He still wants to build a wall. He says put alligators in the water.
No, he didn't.
I swear.
No, he didn't.
Trump said put alligators in the water.
And that'll keep them from coming over.
You don't think if they see all them alligators swimming around, they won't get in that water? No, they won't.
He may be on.
But what about the Jose cartel one with the fentanyl?
They won't get in the water either.
He'll get in the water, and as DeSantis will blow him away. Now, the family Jose, he'll come to the water bank. He'll see all them alligators there, right? And he's going to go, hold on for a second. Do I want freedom? Or do I want to get eaten by an alligator? Yeah, which one do I want?
Alligators in the water.
Alligators.
Oh my God.
That's Trump's answer.
Oh my
Alligators.
God. I don't know if that's better than the wall. You think?
God.
That's probably better than the wall.
And then you got Biden. I guess he finally sent some troops over to help. It's getting out of hand. I guess stepping over 100,000 people on the streets of New York ain't out of hand.
I told you after that interview with the 700 Club, the guys that were there at the border seeing these cartels and other people coming in with the fentanyl and all of that, he said, we need more of us. More bodies like us.
Well, no, Biden had to wait. I guess this is him. let's give them an app. And then and tell them to come back. Come on back over and then apply after a few months.
But even if you give them an app.
So we get to come over and not just do an app?
No, the news got the interview they were having with the guys at the border, and they're over near a territory. What do you call it? Not plantations. With the Indians, the Native Americans, their area, and they're slipping them in on reservations and through the reservation. Right. But he said a lot of them are even kidnapping and taking people that regular people trying to get over and using them as their slaves. And I'm thinking they're trafficking. Cartel people are trafficking the people coming over.
Right.
And I'm thinking, oh my God, it's crazy even at the border with all that's going on.
So none of them have an answer.
We need more people, more security.
All of a sudden, Joe Biden wakes up and decides to send more troops today or whatever.
Sleepy
Joe. That's
at least a start. It's not going to be end all, but it's a start.
His worst idea is better than DeSantis shooting anybody that comes over and Trump putting alligators in the water.
Okay.
So even Biden's worst idea is better than that.
But
and then the third part.
Okay.
Slavery being a choice.
Yeah. Well, he was
not a choice. That's Kanye. I'm sorry.
You're doing
slavery benefiting
from slavery, like doing things that we were not able to do.
Can I ask you a question? White people, wake up, white people.
That's what.
Do you think
Howard Stern show
that all of Africa, do you think? I don't know. They did math and stuff for pyramids, and do you think anybody would have any sense in Africa,
the history
before they came over to this country? Do you think? I'm just throwing it out there. You think they knew how to get water, draw water from the river? You think they knew math? You think they knew how to look at the sun? Do you think they knew how to count? Do you think they knew anything before you brought them over in chains and taught them anything? You think Africans are stupid? That they had to be enslaved for you to teach them? So you don't think that those tribes, the kings of the tribes, knew money, knew wealth, knew guns, knew all of that? You don't think they knew all of that before you went there and brought them over here?
It's not that they knew. They didn't care.
No,
because they was bringing them from one country to another. They don't care what you learn over there. You learning what we teach you.
It sounds like they are saying you are a savage, and anything that kept you from being an animal, you benefited when we brought you over here. We brought you over here as an animal.
You had nothing. You
was a dog, and we took you to obedience school and taught you how to sit. And that's, you know what that is? That's offensive to real life wolves and dogs that's out in the.
They knew,
because they're smart.
You can even train an animal, to do things.
You think you gotta capture a wolf and teach him how to sit in order for him to know how to survive?
But regardless of that,
he don't have nothing before you brought him in.
But I think to not go into this any further, to not go into this, because we can be here all night on the whole critical race theory and then slavery being taught. I think the bottom line is that he should not do away with it. Let the history of slavery, good, bad, and ugly, be taught.
Right.
Let it be taught in schools. Let it be. People need to learn history and what went on. The Civil War, the civil rights, the bridges named after certain leaders. All of that needs to be taught.
And for you saying slavery, because that was the question. It wasn't about the school.
Right.
It was about Black people benefiting from slavery. That was the question that she asked him, and that was what he answered. So that's what I'm talking about. He was
justifying what the gentleman, I guess, who wrote this book, was what he meant by that. He was saying that he was probably on this side of it where we couldn't read. They wouldn't let us read. We had to hide and go reading. We had to hide and do certain things because, the slave master wouldn't let the slave do certain things. So he said a lot of them, in spite of what they couldn't do and was told not to do, they still did it and found ways around it. And they survived. They made it. Harriet Tubman.
Right. And I still give the example, and I will stick to this example. If you are a grown man and you violate a young girl who is underage, let's say she's 12, I'll even go 10, and you're in prison, will people listen to you when you say, well, I violated her, but at least I taught her something. She knows how to do this now. She didn't know how to do that before, but I taught her that. So she knows how to do that. How come she couldn't just learn that without you violating her?
But he did say partly that. That's what I'm saying. He said things that we were not able to do in spite of blacks have found ways around that. Right. They still learn to read.
All right.
They had to do it.
Right.
That's what he was saying. And they benefit from it because they went against the master's rules.
I'm trying to put the example.
I'm saying it's not right. I'm just saying he's trying to justify.
You never put in the same sentence violation and benefit. You can say in the Holocaust, well, you didn't know we used the little kids' hands to go in there and shine up the things, and if their hand would get cut off, we would have to get rid of them. But they learn how to shine up missiles. You never put the word violate and benefit in the same sentence. Okay, all right. So move on.
Yeah, that's calling the whole Slavery Act violation.
Yeah.
That's what, yeah. That's
you don't put it in the same sentence.
I violated you. I pulled you
But you learned something from it. Well, you don't put it in the same sentence.
Well, you know what?
That's like saying Hitler was a good person. You don't put it in the same sentence. That's what Kanye did.
It's probably, it doesn't sound right even coming from it as far as anybody that's not a person of color. Because like even Sarah was saying, in spite of slavery, blacks have excelled and they did and a lot of people base that on faith and in God as well too. So you never know.
All right.
He just don't need to talk anymore about it.
You don't need to put it in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Emerald says, "Are you on with the ladies tomorrow?" Yeah, I'm gonna text her tomorrow. I mean tonight.
Is she on tonight?
Yeah, Wendy's in.
Okay.
She said hi. Okay. The next person. The U.S. is allowing hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans in the country to work legally. You kept asking when were they going to do that, and he just said it. Yes. The Biden administration says it's granting temporary legal status to hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans who are already in the country, quickly making them eligible to work. As it grapples with growing numbers of people fleeing the South American country and elsewhere to arrive at the U.S.-Mexican border. The move, along with promises to accelerate work permits for many migrants, may appease the Democratic leaders who have pressured the White House to do more to aid asylum seekers, while also providing grist for Republicans who say that President Joe Biden has been too lax on immigration. The Homeland Security Department plans to grant temporary protected status to an estimated 472,000 Venezuelans who arrive in the country as of July
like the whole country
31st.
Don't that sound like almost the whole country?
Making it easier for them to get authorization to work in the U.S.
400,000 people is a lot.
That's been a key demand of Democratic mayors and governors who are struggling to care for an increased number of migrants in their care.
But if they got temporary visas to work, they can be taxed too. That's a lot of money the government would be gaining from them.
Okay, let's break this down.
Think about it.
Let's also break this down.
That was one of the reasons as well why we were freed as slaves.
They
want us to work so they can tax us too.
This is a dual thing for me.
What?
Because you've already opened the door. You've already opened the door and allowed 472,000 Venezuelans to come
Please
here.
Don't tell me that in this past year. Please tell me
I just said since July.
Oh Lord.
One of the reasons why Venezuela,
that's a lot of people.
And I don't know if people know the history of this, but one of the reasons why Venezuela is in the predicament that it's in is because they did what we do. They print money that doesn't exist. Our government is turning into Venezuela. So they basically left Venezuela to come here to become Venezuela again.
But that's not the main thing. It was the dictator that took over. Not just the money financially. It's the situation they're in. the ruler that's over there. That's what they're talking about.
Venezuela.
No, that's
partly.
Yeah, partly.
Okay.
They have a dictator.
But
over
how do you
over
think that happens?
Now the money thing is a whole nother discussion.
But how does that happen? When your system breaks down. That's when these little groups show up and everybody wants to be the leader.
Is that why he's giving them a visa so they can work?
No, that has nothing to do with Venezuela.
I'm saying over Venezuela, here in this country so we won't become like that.
But here's the problem. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure that no American is saying they can't find a job.
It doesn't matter. They need to work. I don't care what Americans are doing. And because think about it, they're over here now. We can complain until Jesus comes back. I just said that.
I said it's nothing
Make
we can
them work
now.
Make them work. If you got 400 and some thousand people over here from that country alone, that ain't even counting who's from Haiti and all the other 3 countries, Cuba. What did they do with the Cubans that came to Florida? They working now, right? And they're being taxed. Okay. So I know what you're saying, but what else can you do?
The bottom line is, I feel the same way I feel about Ukraine. Yeah, you've already done it, so it's like I can't go back now.
You're not going to win the argument with Ukraine.
I'm saying I can't do any of it because you've already started off wrong.
I know, but
just like Biden, he already started off wrong.
I know.
So now we got to deal with the mess that we got.
Make it right. But I'm just saying, because you started out wrong and you got involved in it and you allowed this to happen, the next best thing to do now is why we got so many of you over here for the reasons that you flee your country. And that's true because we have written down in our laws, if they're coming from a country where they almost get their lives taken and it's really bad, you're coming to our country free. Now you need to work. Here, we'll give you a temporary visa. Work now. And then, of course, the government ain't going to tax you. They do it all the time. The situation with Ukraine, we're not going to win that one. Because they're concerned about the future with Russia and the relationship with Russia and China. If a dictatorship man takes over Ukraine, we're scared. Oh, God, he's going to take Poland. He's going to take every country.
So then if
that's going to be there. We can't do nothing about it.
Then if Poland feels like that, then Poland steps up its game. Not just America. If America is the only one protecting everybody, you got to get off of that.
You're going to have disagreements on both sides. So I get
Now, if you're fighting and you're all the ground and you're covered in dirt, I'll come and help you. But I want to see you covered in dirt. I don't want us doing all the work.
I think they're fighting. The Ukraine.
Girl, bye.
Yeah, they are. That's why they need the bigger
comment section, y'all. I'll read them to her. Well, I don't feel like
she can make this comment all she wants to, y'all. Y'all know the war is going to still go on. And then what's his name said, let's give it a time frame. Well,
what's the time frame?
I'm just saying that was suggestions. Let's look at next year by this time.
Okay.
Do we pull out now? They haven't moved. The needle hasn't moved.
So you think Putin is going to say, okay, well,
I don't know what Putin's going to do. He may drop a mass bomb on all of us.
Well, he can't.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm just, you can.
Nah, not here.
I mean, he can.
You mean over there? Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. This is a hot one on both sides. The immigrants from Venezuela as well as the Ukraine war. What can we say?
So that to me should be the questions that people need to be asking these people that are running for president.
Time to vote. Yeah.
Nikki Haley, Beaver Teeth Tim, all of them. Ask all of them. Fat Boy, what's his name? Flintstone, all of them. Okay. Pence, what's your answer?
And what's Ramaswamy?
Kokuma Matata,
right.
What's your answer?
And we haven't heard from him. So
he was on something yesterday.
Was he? Oh my God, he's still out there.
Yeah, Kuma Matata. Him and somebody else was.
Okay.
Can't think of.
But those are the big issues.
Those are the questions.
Yeah, Ukraine
What
war,
are you gonna do
immigrants.
What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
All right. Emerald says the true question is, did blacks prosper more for slavery or Caucasians? Enough said. I agree. Who benefited from it?
Caucasians. That's what you saw the documentary.
But they don't want to talk about that.
They don't want to say that. They don't want to say they were paid $300 for each slave.
But DeSantis don't want to say that. He don't want to say. He wants to say blacks benefited from slavery. But how did white people benefit from slavery?
Thank you.
They're not going to talk about that. That's what I'm saying.
Both sides did in a sense, right?
Emerald says we need jobs and livable wages to afford our housing and other costs of living. That's why I'm saying you got 472,000 people that you allowed asylum in this country, you're allowing them to work, I better not hear about Americans more than what we already are not having jobs.
I want them to work. Okay. If they're going to be in our country, they need to work. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
That's a lot of people. If our own people are living in squalor and natural disasters without any relief, why do other countries deserve more than ours? That's what I'm saying. I feel like we got people, we got house Maui being burnt down, we got natural disasters, we got people still digging out.
And I keep asking the question, what can you do?
Well, you know what Obama did, y'all? He sent them back.
He can't send them back now.
Well, I'm saying he's opened the barn door.
And I agree, because that Statue of Liberty, what does she stand for?
Well, that's an idol now.
No, I'm saying regardless of it being an idol, what did it stand for?
Back in the day. I mean, come on.
The point I'm making is what it stands for, allowing people from all over the world to come. Bring your sick, bring your whatever.
That's, you know what you're saying? What back in the day,
and we're still doing it.
Okay, hold on. Let's say back in the day we had 40,000 people in this country. Whatever, that's a small number. And we all had farms, and we all had livestock, and we were all living wonderful. And let's build a statue. Wow. Anybody from other countries, come on over. We got so much land, and everything is so wonderful. We got milk and honey here, and we could just bring you on over. If you got harm, anything going on, come on over. Yeah, back then. Now, when we got our own people sleeping on the street, military people in the military can't even find housing, and you got natural disasters like Emerald said, you don't have the same get up that you had years ago. The point
is going back to that man that was asking on the street, when is it going to end? Right. Now that you said there's a number that's capped, there
is no cap number.
No, you said a number. You gave it a number. You said 400,000 people.
Here now.
No, I'm not talking about here now. I'm talking about, the question is, when will it cap, meaning put a cap on it, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Close the borders.
No, now you sound like Trump.
No, I'm saying, I don't sound like Trump.
Well,
he said put alligators out there.
The first he said close the border.
No, in fact, aside from what Biden has done, is definitely, it's a more than one answer to all of this. One, definitely send more people at that border to work with those men that are there already. Because you got more eyes, you got more bodies, you got more people, you got more guns. Whatever.
Wendy says homeless people.
But we need to shut the doors now that we 400,000 people.
Homeless people, the minimum wage is $7.25. Ridiculous. So that's how
They probably gonna be paid less than that too.
So they still gonna be homeless.
No, I'm saying, well, however they want to do it, because I know Chicago's doing the tent thing. Right. I don't know if that's gonna work, because when wintertime's coming, they got to get somewhere.
It's so ridiculous.
So we all have these. Here's the thing: we got so many things that's happening in our country. We are so hypocritical. What's y'all answers to all of it? Aside from prayer, we can't do nothing.
All right.
Except in your own community. If you're doing something to homeless people in your own community, then you can talk.
All I'm saying
is... And we were doing that with our sorority and everybody else. We were helping people on the streets get a place to stay.
You need...
Because otherwise we're just complaining.
All I'm saying is these are the questions that you need to ask the people that are running for office. Voting.
That's true.
All this other extra stuff that y'all got, we don't care about.
And they have another debate coming on next week.
And hopefully they'll ask them about that. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do about the border?
Yes.
What are you going to do about the immigrants that are already here? What do you think about Biden thing saying to give the asylum seekers, let them work.
Temporary visas.
Well, visas, all of this other stuff. What is your plan? And if I hear somebody with a good plan,
alligators.
I like that. Yeah, not an alligator, big dummy.
Or shoot them. Like DeSantis.
But if I hear Nikki Haley or somebody up there and she says, well, this is my thought on blah, 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 then I'll go, okay. All right. Maybe she'll say, again, I keep throwing it back at Mexico. You keep letting people cross through your country, you're going to pay for some of that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. And also make it to where if they start paying, they'll start keeping them there.
One of the before you go into the next topic, one thing that Vice President Kamala did, I think she did say this. She said, we need to talk to the countries that they're fleeing from.
All right,
and I'm thinking, is there something that can be done when you talk about the situation in Venezuela?
Right. Okay.
Can we talk to them and say, you need to get your act together or be sat down or shot down?
You mean the same
like Reagan
way
would do?
The same way he talked to Fat Boy Kim Jong-un and said, "You better not go over to Russia." And he looked at him and went over there. And
I don't know. That was
champagne.
something that she brought up. I wonder, was that a plan to go to Mexico, to go to Venezuela, to go to Haiti,
right,
and say do something with the people who have taken over? Because they fleeing from there.
They're not afraid.
Make it better so they can go back home.
They're not afraid of Joe
I don't
Biden.
know. That's just a thought.
All right. So we did a thing on Tyler Perry. And remember, he talked about the women and black women and how they, people keep saying he said settle, but that's not really what he said.
Wow.
He was saying,
they shoot him up.
If you had a man that can only pay the light bill or whatever, but he's everything else, he's great. He takes care of you. He honors you. He honors the family. You love him. He loves you. He's okay with you making him more money.
He gave a check.
He answered. He said he's okay. So he's not jealous. So that ruled that out.
Right.
He said,
Insecure.
and she's okay.
Right.
She's not up at night wondering how we're going to
They're in agreement.
She's okay with it. He said, what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
Well, we got answers on the comment section. And I don't want to read some of them because I keep telling you, I still think that most people are stupid.
They don't listen. They only listen to what they feel. It's like a filter.
Somebody said, well, this is people commenting on our video.
On what we said about it. Okay.
I love y'all. Y'all always talk with some sense. Okay. He said, especially black women, because we've been doing it. It's kind of like an insult. He wants you to settle. That's not what he said.
Where did he say settle?
Somebody said he's been saying it in his movies for years and women love it. Somebody said, yes, some women do have to settle and others don't. How long have black women been doing this anyway? Glad I never had to, probably because I have standards and expectations.
Do we not know the definition of settling? When you are comfortable with something and you are at peace with it and this is okay, you feel like you're settling?
All right. So this guy says, interesting and different perspective. So much of what creates misunderstandings are underlying assumptions. When the average black woman thinks about dating down, she's viewing it from a perspective of your typical, even educated black woman making $40,000 to $75,000 a year as a school teacher or a social worker or a call center supervisor. Mm-hmm. Being asked to take an actual bum who crashes on her couch and only offers her peen.
Yeah.
People aren't thinking of terms of women, the VPs, in their title of doctor in front of their name or behind their names. When a woman, black, white, Asian, purple, polka dot, etc., is pulling down $175,000 plus, if she expects a man to make as much or more, she really is pricing herself out of the market. That's what Tyler was getting at. Now, after he wrote this, his wife must have smacked him on the back of his head.
Because he came back and said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
So, okay. After I wrote my initial comment, I talked to my wife about it. I didn't catch this initially. If we're framing around an Oprah scenario with an exceptional woman, we're arguing from an exception. The average woman who listens to and watches a Tyler Perry content is a single mother or a woman making between $40,000 and $75,000 income range. Making that kind of money doesn't even require a degree. Just doing the work or getting solid trade will match or exceed that level. Therefore, there is an issue with black men's productivity, which is what I said. I said most of y'all got one foot at your job and the other foot in the homeless section. Ooh. If you lose your job, you're not Oprah. You're not a woman that is at that level where she's rich. You're working. So, of course, you're going to want a man that's working as well. Y'all are working together to come up with something. I don't think that's who he's talking to.
Right.
I think he's talking to women who got money.
Okay.
Because he said it. He said, you got well off, you good. You don't have to have
anybody else to even come with you with
That's
the
what
income.
I think he's talking about. He's not talking about somebody who got to get up every morning and go to work.
Right.
So somebody says, then these guys need to step up their game. And those no excuses being going on forever. Come on now. They've They've locked up. They don't have a fair chance. Yada yada yada. Whatever. And when you get with a woman, then you need to step it up. Somebody says, you know darn well Tyler Perry is talking to black women when he made the suggestion to accept these broke men. My question to you ladies is, what job can a man get where he can pay the light bill and nothing else? Didn't I say that? I said if he's living with Oprah and on Maui, the light bill is probably
you saying like if you are 6 figures and you married a teacher and he's making $40,000,
yes,
and y'all live in a beautiful $600,000-$700,000 home,
and your light bill
is
$2,000,
$1,500 or $1,200. Babe, I'll pay that bill.
Yeah.
What other bills you expecting to pay in a $600,000 house?
And I got my house note.
And he a teacher.
I got my car note. And I'm still paying my student loan.
What is wrong with people? The scenarios that we brought up.
If you're a woman and you make enough money and you gotta have him pay more than that, you're not rich. You just as broke as he is. If you lose your job.
But you know what? That's another thing too. Let's say you walk in with the fairy tale wed marriage, the guy doing his thing, you doing your thing, and y'all married for 6 years. He loses his job.
Right.
His company folds.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Well,
you gonna walk out on him?
She also says, we also know that man that can't hold his own is resentful of women and does not honor his wife. Didn't he say that he is not resentful?
Yes.
He's good.
He's good.
He secured himself and he honors it. He said he honors his wife. He honors the home. He honors the family. He's good. I told you, we went line by line.
This checklist of how this man is.
But we went line by line on what he said. And they still comment. I told you people are stupid.
They don't listen. And my old pastor used to say, follow the end of the conversation. Listen to the very end.
Somebody said, I wish that Tyler would give advice to black men instead of always criticizing black women. He might pretend to be a woman, but he doesn't walk in our shoes. The advice would have been better coming from Oprah.
He didn't criticize.
He's a single man. And they asked him a question.
And he said, if the woman is okay, it's like Kim said when the song Scrub came out, some men was mad at that song Scrub. Well, do you fit the Scrub
then
criteria?
He's not talking to you.
TLC wasn't singing.
And I gave an example of Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, 2 people who have money. And I said, I don't think she should pay anything.
You said that they need to he makes more money than her.
He said he got in trouble for that.
Yes.
And he came back and said, I never asked Gabrielle to pay anything. She wants to pay.
She made that decision.
I agree with y'all.
And
why are you paying anything? I make over $100 million.
And we know how strong-headed she is. That probably was the decision for him to have peace in the house.
If I'm married to a man that's worth over $100-something million a year, I'm not paying one bill.
But she wanted to.
But then if you want to, don't say you're up at night worrying about money.
Don't complain about what you permit. If you're permitting it, you can't complain about it.
Somebody said, even if that's true, who cares if it's the norm? The advice is bad. Even someone who works at McDonald's can pay more than just the light bill, unless there are other complications in their life.
Jesus.
If that is the case, the man should stay single and focus on himself.
I think we have problems with hypothetical situations.
But that's not what he said.
We can't get in his head and go, hypothetically, if you are this, and this.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay, I get it. If he's this and this and this.
Okay. People.
Well, that's not me, Tyler. I really want somebody who's making some money like me. Then you leave him alone. Don't dog him out. He said if the woman is comfortable with that situation,
somebody said, would you advise your daughter to partner with a good man who pays only the light bill while she pays all the other bills?
They stuck on that light bill, aren't they?
They stuck on the light bill.
And the light bill was just hypothetically. You say any bill in the house. You could take a Lord Jesus, I can't even think.
He don't even have
other
to pay.
bills.
Put it this way.
Just the light bill. That light bill. That
Stedman,
light bill.
I still think it's Stedman. I think he's still talking about Stedman and Oprah.
You think?
Let's say Stedman pays the light bill. Isn't that cute? He don't even have to pay the light bill, honestly. That's what he's talking about. Him paying the light bill doesn't make or break her. He's just feeling like, give me something.
I want to contribute to the household expenses.
So that's it with that.
Oh, that's funny.
I did not tell you.
They did not listen to this man.
None of it.
And I don't like the fact that they had to throw shade at him with the whole Madeir thing.
Madeir.
He's single. And why we got to be ugly?
Thank you.
When we throwing shade at
All
people
right.
because they giving their opinion. Really?
Wendy says, Soul Sweet is here. Wendy says, can't do it. He seems so pathetic. He has to work. He said he'll work. So now you doing the same thing, Wendy. He said the man has a job.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to what the man actually said.
He gave a
How many
scenario.
times are we going to keep hearing about people saying he has to work?
He has a job. His job is not making as much as you as a power woman.
Yes.
We even gave our own analogy. We gave, she could be a doctor or a lawyer making 6 figures. He's a teacher in the inner cities of Chicago. He ain't making that much, but he's teaching. He has his degree and he's teaching. She's making $200,000 a year. He's making 40 or 50,000. Really?
All right, let's do this.
Oh my God.
Anybody who comments after this on this video, I'm going to tear you a new one. I'm not going to be nice. Because he said, if you don't listen to what he said, don't make a comment.
Oh my God. Because he truly said the checklist of where the man
now,
is.
I warned y'all ahead of time.
Yeah.
I'm a Howard Stern fan.
Yeah.
So y'all know how I am. If I'm a Howard Stern fan,
ugly.
I'm going to rip your new one.
Yes, he will.
That's
why you like Howard Stern. Because we were like, you like Howard Stern?
He's nicer now, but back in the day, you're nincompoop. You're morons. You're dumb.
And and the bottom line is, this is Tyler Perry's opinion. It's not
who's a billionaire.
Stone, whether he's with a wife or not. He made it clear on both sides how the man is feeling in that relationship, how the woman is accepting.
Yes.
She said yes.
And I
want that man that teaches in Chicago because he's a good man.
And he's not jealous. Watch, it'll be another comment. I don't want somebody who's jealous of me getting up in the morning and going to work.
Think about
it. He said he's not jealous. All right?
Think about it. I have met in my job. I worked in my one company, and one of the ladies, she was a designer, so she was making good money. And she married, he was a teacher. This is a white couple. He was a white teacher in the inner city of Chicago. She would tell me the things that he was doing in that school. He was working with the kids. He had started a mentoring program. He didn't make as much money as she made, but my God, they had a good relationship.
Well, he's a teacher, and he should pay more than the light bill. I'm not going with any man that only pays. He's got a job. He can pay more than the light bill, can he?
Oh my God.
That's not what he said.
And when they got ready to buy a house, she was making more than him. So think about it. When they had to bring their money together as a down payment, of course she's going to give more. She makes 6 figures. He only made 50,000.
I'm tired of.
So yes, she brought more money, and they were happy because they both bought the house together.
You're talking about white people. I'm tired of black women always.
We had an example of a white couple.
I'm tired of black women always being told to settle. Why do we have to settle?
But she was a white woman, and she's settled.
Well, he's talking to black people, and he's telling. Let me tell you something, Tyler Perry. You may dress like a woman, but you don't walk in our shoes. You're not really my dear in real life. You think you are, son? You're not.
Oh my God, I feel bad for him. All right, keep it going.
You don't walk a mile in our shoes. I'm not being with a deadbeat man that sleeps on the couch all day, and I gotta get up and put my work shoes on and my pants and get out there and earn the bacon, and he wants to fry it up in the pan. It's supposed to be the other way around.
But think about this too, as far as those of us who are people of faith in the Bible. Think about a man who, if he even acts that way, he's not a man of God. Because God even talks about the man taking care of the wife and being the husband around the home and doing the things that he cherishes in a marriage. Right away, if his attitude is not about working, because if you don't work, you don't eat. Come on. We don't want nobody like that anyway.
Everybody is so social media driven and quick to make comments and stuff that people actually don't listen to what people are saying. I like when somebody comments and they listen, say, I don't like what you said, and this is what you said, and I disagree with it. Right. At least you can have a normal conversation with that person. Right. But when these women go crazy over what he said that he didn't say, and they're adding on stuff, they're adding their own insecurities and things that they feel into what he said. Yeah. He never said sleep on the couch and do nothing. He don't honor you. He's jealous that you make more money than he does. Yeah. That all he can pay is the light bill. He's a bum. He's this. He never said any of that.
And you got to think about, too, if you're thinking that, what's in your spirit?
That's what I'm saying. You're bringing your own.
What's in your spirit to feel that way?
Yes. You probably got hurt by some man who used you, drove your car, and he took advantage of. He probably drove your car and went and slept with other women. You found a condom in the car or something. And now you mad at every black man because you picked the bum.
Or he's a deadbeat dad.
Or he's a deadbeat dad like Sierra laughed at Future. When that lady asked her how's Future as a dad.
She laughed, didn't she?
She laughed. Mm-hmm. Not every man fits that. So you're bringing your own
he has money,
thing.
Don't he?
Yeah.
Future has money.
Yes. All right.
Go ahead.
Wendy says Gabrielle and them, they only go half on vacations. That's what Dwayne said on the Shay Shade show. Wendy said that's fine. When I say I'm going to light in the people that don't listen to the thing.
Go back and listen to Tyler and hear his checklist.
Emerald says some women of a particular age begin to settle just to not be alone, learning that being alone is okay. If you make good money and you both have agreed to a reversal of roles, it's not settling. You do what is right for you.
That word settled, it shakes me up. Because what is the definition to a woman that's settling?
Emerald, she be making sense.
What is settling?
It's not settling. If both of y'all in agreement to what, if he says, I'll take the kids.
Take you, I can't get nobody
or
else.
If you got kids and you say, and he's better, not all women are good with kids.
No.
And if he's better with them, he says, you know what? I'm going to stay here. I can still work. I got my job I can do at home. I'll take care of the kids.
Where's my heart when I feel like I'm settling? Am I really into this?
And settling has nothing to do with money. You can settle with somebody who's of attitude or something.
Yes.
A mean man.
I'll settle with him because he may not ever change.
Thank you.
I don't get that. That settling word bothers me.
Thank you.
Especially as a Christian woman.
Right. Real quick on Little Kim.
Seek God for some healing.
Right.
To make you feel you settle.
Yes. Wendy Emerald says, thank you, Kim. Settling is lowering your standards. But what we're saying, Wendy, is what's the standard?
Yes.
If the standard,
if you feel your standard is low.
Yeah. If the standard is rooted in things that are not of God.
Like you're insecure, you're self-conscious. Right. You've been burnt, hurt, scorned.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can settle because you don't feel yourself above that.
Right.
T.D. Jakes talks about this all the time.
Settling.
Come on.
Yeah, we agree. Okay. If it's something that's rooted in something that's of substance, I agree.
You'll settle.
You don't want to settle. You say, I'm not settling for that. I'll be alone before I settle.
Right.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Shoot.
All right. Little Kim denies approving heavily retouched Ebony magazine cover as the rapper accuses the publication of trying to sabotage her and says she looks like a painting.
Oh my God.
Little Kim.
She has so much work done. I don't even recognize her hardly.
The singer 49 accused the publication of sabotage after receiving backlash for looking nearly unrecognizable on the cover. You've been looking unrecognizable, Little Kim. It didn't take Ebony magazine to airbrush you to look that people don't recognize you.
She did that little one reality show that came on with all her friends on the boat.
Right.
I almost fell out.
You didn't recognize her.
I'm like, oh my God, what did she do?
Thank you. Keith Major, the publication's director of photography, however, claimed that Little Kim wanted to be in control of the retouching. Upon the release of the cover on Monday, Little Kim made it clear to her Instagram followers that she was not happy with the final results. So
I'm sorry, Little Kim. I don't know what to say because you've done so much work on yourself. You can't get mad at people who want you on the front cover and they airbrush a lot of people though.
Thank you.
So Kardashians, they even admitted that they was airbrushed and maybe they'll cover up something.
Well, Little Kim made it clear to her Instagram followers that she was not happy with this final result. That's her on Ebony.
That looked like Little Kim to me.
Here, that's Big Blue. That's Little Kim.
What's wrong with this?
It looked like her to me. No, how does it look any different?
She's had so much work done. We don't know.
She said, "Who is this?" She wrote on her Instagram.
She has
story.
a diamond head.
They changed her jaw.
Oh,
because that's not the photo I approved or any other content that they put out
on the side. Because she always had a little pointed jaw, didn't she?
It says the mother of one also shared the cover photo that she did allegedly approve of, which was incredibly similar, but has some slight differences in the skin tone, the contrast, and the brightness.
Is she too light, maybe?
After a side-by-side cover and image that she approved, we're uploaded to the Shade Room. The Shade Room wrote this. Instagram. Reality star Megan James weighed in on the conversation. As a photographer, an expert editor, the saturation and the few editing differences are apparent. But this is the exact same photo, Kim.
Wow.
Even if she approved another one, it looked like the one she approved.
You're kidding.
That's like somebody putting two photos. I approved this one, not this one. And you put it up next to each other and they kind of look the same.
It's no total difference.
It's not a big difference.
I would see if the complexion was maybe different.
Yeah.
Wow. So she just kind of beefing.
She's mad because that's the way they're saying that she looks.
I mean, it's fine to me.
I think she look how she always looks.
Like she looks, yeah.
Yeah. Wendy says, if that person is unable to make me laugh, I'm settling. I agree, because Wendy likes to laugh.
Oh, girl. I ain't going to settle.
Right.
Because you
need to be able to laugh.
No, what's the movie that he made as far as being by yourself?
I
could do bad by myself.
I could do bad by myself. And to me, I'm funny, so he don't have to be funny.
Yeah, it's complimenting each other.
Emerald says, no, Wendy, a good sense of humor is a must. To me, it's a sexy trait.
Yes, it is, girl.
Emerald says, I think that she might suffer from body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
Little Kim.
Yeah, Little
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I think so, too.
Because she's constantly getting facelifts and stuff.
And also,
done.
She's somebody who's skinny and looks in the mirror and sees fat.
Yeah.
For her to look at that cover.
She's still not pleased.
And say that there's something wrong with it. That looks like you. Yeah. That's what we've been saying.
And they're gonna do that on they airbrush you, Photoshop stuff. You still look nice though. What's the problem with her? It's like what you said. If she sees herself, she still doesn't.
She sees herself.
And that's like the people who get constant plastic surgery. They constantly, I need a chin thing.
Yeah.
My cheeks are not high enough.
And they end up messing their face up.
Oh, yes.
But that's what she looks like.
Yes.
If anything, I think she looks better.
Mm-hmm, she looks nice.
Honestly.
Well,
sorry, Kim. I think you look better there than I've seen you in other things.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move on to the donkey of the day.
Okay.
All right. You always want to know who Charlemagne the God's donkey of the day is.
These are two couples.
Now you remember a while ago we talked about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B beefing with each other. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then we talked about recently. At the VMAs, Nicki was supposed to host, but she didn't. But she sung or whatever.
Yeah, she was on everybody's stage.
And Cardi was there.
Okay,
with
Cardi
Offset.
gave a presented, right? Or
did she sung with Megan.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
Okay.
I missed that.
So then Offset was there. Okay, Nicki was there with her husband and his friends, goons,
ex-prisoner. Man.
Cardi was there with her security and Offset. Okay. Now, apparently, I guess some beef must have went down there, or Offset heard that they were saying something about Cardi was running and she was scared of Nicki or something. And he got in the DMs of one of what's his name? Kenneth Petty's friends, and was like, we was good. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm just gonna paraphrase. Wasn't nobody scared, nothing. I checked on y'all. Y'all ain't nothing. And y'all, you can't even go back to your neighborhood or whatever. You can't, you from Charlotte or something, he said. You don't even live in New York no more. You talking about you all goonish or whatever. So this made Nicki's husband get mad, Kenneth Petty. Now, if you know anything about him, he went to jail for the R word.
Oh, wow. He violated somebody?
Yes, he went to jail for it. And he also went to jail for the M word.
Oh my!
Taking somebody's life.
You're kidding?
He just got out of jail.
Was he in a gang or something?
I don't know what he's in. He probably will. Who knows? I think he is. He throws up gang signs or whatever.
Life. Okay.
She knew him back in the day when she was young.
Oh.
So when he got out of prison, she married him.
Ooh.
And remember, she didn't been through everybody, so she probably her time clock was ticking down to have a baby.
What the lady
and she probably felt like
married beneath her.
Thank you. This is not who Tyler Perry was talking about. But that's who they keep putting in the comment section.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, so he gets mad, and him and his friends go outside. Now, they're standing in front of a 5-star hotel.
Okay.
But we're outside. If you want to show up, Offset, we're outside.
Okay.
So his friends are outside with them. And they're outside saying, you can pull up, Offset. Yeah.
Because of what, though?
Because Offset made a comment about him and he doesn't like it. All right?
Oh, he still got that hood in
So
him.
anytime you want to pull up Offside,
okay,
we're outside. Offset. We're outside.
Offside. We're outside.
All right. Say that 20 times fast. Okay. So he got one of his goon friends. He look like he about 4 foot tall.
Oh, no.
Because he's short. And his friend's shorter than him.
You're kidding.
So he got to be about 4'12".
Oh, no.
Well, let me tell you something, Offset. I'm outside. Me and him are outside. All of us. The guy with the camera turns it on him. I'm outside too. We're all outside.
Did Offset come outside?
Wait a minute. So then Offset replies with getting off a plane. Laughing at them, calling them all broke.
Right.
He said, I'm on a private jet and y'all outside. With garbage bags all around him and all kinds of stuff. Outside. So Nicki Minaj's husband gets mad again, I don't know which sequence this all is in. And he's recording again. Now he's no longer outside. I'm inside. And while you're on that plane, you might as well plan your funeral. Now, this dude that just got out of prison, probably got an ankle bracelet on. Dude. He ain't even supposed to be in New York. He ain't supposed to leave the state. He got to get permission to leave the state.
How are you doing all of this mouthing and you just got out of jail?
While he's outside. So, I'm no longer outside. I'm inside. And you better start planning your funeral, buddy. You got it?
You're kidding me.
Well, fast forward a couple of hours or a couple of days later.
Okay.
The little short one that was outside. He gets on and says, what is everybody all about? Everybody calm down. We were just joking. We're playing around here.
You're kidding.
Everybody's taking this way too serious.
You guys were filming yourself outside.
Telling him to come outside.
Come outside.
You guys are taking this way too serious.
And now they're playing.
Well, now, Kenneth Petty, her husband, is under house arrest for 4 months.
Because he was outside.
Well, apparently the authorities didn't like you saying, hey, let me tell you something. Instead of planning your vacation, why don't you plan your funeral? Even though I just ended another man's life and just got out of prison.
You ignorant. Ignorant.
I ended a man's life.
Dummy.
I got out of prison. Now I'm telling this guy, you need to put your filter on too.
So that put him in trouble. What was he thinking? Maybe you need to go back to jail.
Married to Nicki Minaj.
This your husband,
a celebrity known all over the world.
Got groupies all over. She got
a whole
club.
fan base.
That's ready to take your life
outside. While she's probably at 4:00 in the morning. She's probably in the hotel sleeping on silk sheets. Because she's worth $100 million. But this guy's outside.
And he's crazy. So now he's under house arrest.
House arrest for 4 months.
See, you
may have to wear an ankle bracelet. Can't even leave the house.
He can't go
outside anymore.
He messed it up for himself.
So are we going to get a new video? Hey, Offset, I'm now inside.
You got to come meet me
at my house. You better come in Nicki's house because you know it's not his house. Even though that's not what Tyler Perry was saying. This is not what Tyler Perry was saying.
This is not the example
Come
of the...
on over to Nicki's house, buddy. We're inside now.
I can't go outside.
Now, my friend, he can't come in, but he's at the window and he's outside.
Oh my God.
I'm inside. My buddies are outside. What you need to do is get in that private plane that you probably bought with the Migos money. So what? I can't buy one. I could get one with my wife's money. Get in your private Migos plane. Fly over here. Knock on the door. Nikki's here. She'll let you in. And we'll get this thing popping.
All because.
But you gotta get past my goons. And they're outside.
Okay, I get it.
So he gets the donkey of the day.
Oh, that's okay. Charlamagne made him the donkey because of that.
He said you are 45 or something years old.
Thank you.
When is it going to be not okay to have this street culture?
Thank you.
I get it for young guys because they don't know the difference. They dumb. A lot of them are stupid.
Exactly.
I can see a 20-year-old. Hey, I'm outside. I'm outside, guys.
And then he goes back in prison.
Or meet me after school.
Because of some crazy. And then he comes back out at 40-something.
And you're on the internet. You're on the phone.
How?
Threatening this man's life on the phone.
On the phone.
A real gangster would never say that.
Thank you.
On the phone.
Thank you.
Real gangsters move and you don't even know they moved.
Yeah.
That's gangster.
How long was he in jail?
Oh, years.
He probably needs to go back.
Let me see. Wendy says he violated a teenager. Yeah. But he was a teenager
he also
too,
took
though.
someone's life.
He was a teenager too.
As well. Okay, so he hasn't learned anything. But he needs to be with, like you said, house arrest. And hopefully he'll learn from that. And then she okay with him.
He's outside.
She being with this man.
Are you gonna do a rap about being outside, Nikki?
We talked about her on the show.
Then she gonna talk about on the VMAs.
Like me.
Should I be nice or should I be me? How about you go backstage and get your bum husband and be nice?
Thank you, because he can't go outside no more.
He can't go. Why don't you go pick him up like you picked your son up from daycare? Because he can't go outside anymore. Should she be nice or should she be mean?
When she said that, I said,
Why don't you be mean to him?
Yeah. Teach him a little lesson because he ain't learning.
And people keep saying, this don't have nothing to do with Nikki. Yes, it does. Your spouse is a reflection of you.
Yes, that's your husband. And his actions, and it may cause him to even go back to prison. So be careful.
And he's now inside. So it affects you. Because now he's inside all day.
He can't go outside with her.
If you want to go to the park, he can't even go to the park.
He can't even go outside. So we'll see. We'll see. So
he already messed up. He's a registered offender. So she has to put her address everywhere she moves to. She hates that because now everybody knows exactly where her address is. He can't go to any places with kids because he's a offender.
Why would you get with him?
Thank you.
Nicki Minaj, you can meet anybody out there. Why this man? Oh, Lord.
Good look. And I don't even really like Nicki, but she's pretty. She has money. She's talented.
Are we answering that question? Is she settling?
That's settling.
Is she settling?
And that's not what Tyler Perry was talking about. She's what everybody in the comment sections was talking about. That's what she did.
Because he's not working.
He's not honoring her. Mm-hmm. He's not honoring the family. He's not contributing. He's a bum.
He ain't even paying that light bill. What we were saying, was it a light bill or
electric bill? I tell you what, Offset.
Threatening somebody.
You pay my wife's light bill. How about that?
I think Offset is taking care of his business, I believe. Because we didn't
and
get
he's
complaints.
An example of the other side.
Yeah.
Somebody who has money, but he keeps cheating on his wife.
Ooh.
But he has all the check boxes.
But he has money.
Cardi loves him. They have a great time together. They have fun together.
4 or 5 kids together.
Well, he has 4 or 5 kids. She has 2 kids.
She has 2 by him.
And they have fun. She loves him. He has money. He has all this other stuff. Has a sense of humor.
Yes.
Offset is funny. And he's talented. One little small thing. Yeah, Offset. I don't cheat on my wife. I can't because I'm inside.
They have to come to the house.
I couldn't cheat when I was in prison. Well, I could, but not the way you think.
Yeah.
And I can't cheat on the outside because I'm inside.
The ladies would have to go to the house to go inside. Oh, I tell you.
All right.
Yeah, he is the donkey.
Wendy says Nicki's with a M word. The M, taking somebody's life.
Yeah.
Yes, she is settling. Low self-esteem.
Very,
I agree.
Very.
All right, y'all. We done with them. He's the donkey of the day.
That's a good donkey.
Donkey of the day.
Yep.
All right. What was I getting ready to say? Oh, Wendy, we're going to text you. We're going to try as soon as we hang up tonight.
It is late there, though. Keep in mind, she's an hour ahead.
I'm not doing her tonight. I'm doing it tomorrow.
No, I'm saying go on earlier.
We're going to try tonight to see how it works. And then we're going to text her tomorrow. So she early.
Okay.
So she can.
So you'll be ready to come on.
So you'll be ready to come on.
This is a new platform. It's not like Zoom.
Yeah, this is different.
So we have to really.
So I'm going to try to figure it out tonight.
The tech problems that we may have.
Don't forget to get out because it's going to be fun to have Wendy. Emerald can't wait to get Wendy, boy. Emerald's like, when you coming on? Every time we talk. Where's Wendy? This is Emerald. We'll be doing a show, a magician show. Where's Wendy? I'm pulling a bunny out of a hat. I'm sawing you in half. I'm doing all kind of magic tricks. Hey, where's Wendy, guys? Where's Wendy?
Everyone knows it's Wendy. Who's walking down the streets of the city, smiling at everybody she sees. Who's reaching out to capture a moment? Everyone knows it's Wendy. I'm sawing you in half. I got all this stuff going on. I got Nicki Minaj's husband in the audience. But Emerald's yelling, where's Wendy? Where's Wendy?
That boy, Alfred. Oh, you thinking, yeah, that's him. That a boy, Alfred. That's Emerald. Alfred? Yes, that's Emerald from that movie.
Okay. The ghost of Mr. Chicken.
The ghost of Mr. Chicken.
It was Alfred.
I think I don't remember.
Okay.
Don't forget our book, 100 Family-Friendly Jokes. Mm-hmm. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Always stay outside.
Always believe. Well, that Negro, he can't go outside no more.
Oh, my God.
He's on house arrest. And if he keeps threatening, he's going back to jail.
How do you marry somebody worth over $100 million and you're outside?
I don't know. She settled for that Negro. She could have gotten anybody else.
All right. Wendy says, love you, Em. That's funny.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Always believe. And that was another Woods Report. See y'all later. When Wendy say, love you, M. Okay. See y'all later.